Howdy, folks. Live from Big Top Chautauqua, welcome to another episode of Tent Show Radio.
Funding support for Tent Show Radio is provided by the Bayfield Inn. Stay, dine, and relax year-round on the shoreline of Lake Superior in downtown Bayfield. Any traveler, any season, any meal, your view awaits. More info at thebayfieldinn.com. And by the Bayfield Chamber of Commerce, beautiful Bayfield in the Apostle Islands. You can tour sea caves and shop our galleries and stores on the shores of Lake Superior. Info at lodging at bayfield.org. And by the Ashland Chamber of Commerce, Ashland, Wisconsin, the historic mural capital of Wisconsin. For a free brochure of self-guided mural tours, visit ashland.com.
And now, here's your host of Tent Show Radio, farmer, humorist, and best-selling author, Michael Perry.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to Tent Show Radio from Lake Superior, Big Top, Chautauqua. Tonight, we feature two longtime friends of the cloth, the Blue Canvas Orchestra and Different Drums of Ireland. And somewhere around the middle of things, I'll share a story about so-called grown-ups and their dang phones. Folks, the music you're about to hear emanates from a special space and a special place. The Big Top is just that, a grand blue and pearl gray striped canvas beauty suitable for a circus, but in this case home to a history of live performance centered on the stage. The Big Top seats are set directly on the earth, and what a spot of earth it is, high atop a hill overlooking beautiful Bayfield, Wisconsin, Lake Superior, and those all-natural waterbound wonders, the Apostle Islands. If you enjoy that vision, if you enjoy what you hear over the course of the next hour, and if you want to see and experience it firsthand, please get to know us at www.bigtop.org. It sounds beautiful up here because it is beautiful up here. You ought to come on up. If you took all the music the Blue Canvas Orchestra has played beneath the Big Top Chautauqua over the years and laid it end to end, you'd have to be smoking some popple bark or something, because I don't know how you'd even begin to do that, and why you wouldn't rather just sit down and listen while they play another one, which is just how we're going to open the show tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, from a show some years ago, it's the Blue Canvas Orchestra. The Blue Canvas Orchestra, ladies and gentlemen. Our featured act this evening has special significance for many of us at the Big Top. The group is called Different Drums of Ireland, and as a matter of fact, in just a bit, you'll hear the voice of founder Roy Arbuckle explaining the roots and instrumental makeup of the band, which he based on the concept of different drums as borrowed from Henry Thoreau. It is the notion of people marching to the beat of different drums. Arbuckle also drew on a book by M. Scott Peck called Different Drums, which was about the essential human need to be in community with other living things. You're going to hear all of that and more in this show, and feel it as well. But you'll also hear the voice of a certain drummer by the name of Stevie Matier, who has gone on to become a long-standing member of the Blue Canvas family, literally. Here they are now, with the young man they brought to America. Different Drums of Ireland.
The day when the weight deadens on your shoulders and you stumble, may the clay dance to balance you. And when your eyes freeze behind the grey window and the ghost of loss gets into you, may a flock of colours, red, indigo, green, and azure blue, come to awaken in you a meadow of delight. And when the canvas frays in the current of thought and a stain of ocean blackens beneath you, may there come across the waters a path of yellow moonlight to bring you safely home. May the nourishment of the earth be yours.
May the nourishment of the earth be yours.
May the clarity of light be yours.
May the clarity of light be yours.
May the protection of the ancestors be yours. And so, may a slow wind work these words of love around you, an invisible cloak to mind your life. Thank you. Thanks very much indeed. We just came over from Ireland just over a week ago, and we had a horrible journey getting here. We were stuck for 8 hours in Dublin Airport, and we're stuck for an hour up above Chicago somewhere. We were getting that deep vein thrombosis sitting in the airport. It was so long, and it was just a very bad journey. But since we got here, we've been in Wisconsin all the time. Yeah, we went to Spring Green, and if you haven't been there, you should go. And we spent a week teaching in Milwaukee and playing at the festival, and Irish Fest. And if you haven't been there, you should go. Yeah. And then we got to come here, and this is the cream. This is just... I was talking to a man from Cork earlier, and he said, this is the way it should be.
Sounds good to me.
And this is Stevie Matier from East Belfast.
Thank you.
And Brendan Monaghan from Banbridge Town in the County Down. Over on my left is Rory McCarran from Derry City. And Kevin Sharkey from Derry City.
And this is, in the middle, this is Roy Arbuckle, also from Derry City.
The centre of the universe.
Except for Belfast.
We need to tell you a couple of things, just one wee thing. People ask it, because a wee bit of background about the band. This wee drum here is called a Bodhrán. And in Ireland, that would be mainly associated, it would be a symbol of the Catholic and Nationalist people. And the big drum is called a Lambeg drum. And that would be mainly, so this is not black and white, but mainly associated with the Protestant and Unionist people. And we're the same in the band. We've got both traditions in the band. And about 10 years ago, we got the idea to bring the two drums together and see if something new could happen. And this is what happened.
Woo! Great stuff.
The river opens for the righteous. The river opens for the righteous. The river opens for the righteous, and the river opens someday. I was walking with my brother, and he wondered what's on my mind. Said what I believe in my soul, just don't see with my eyes. We can't turn our backs this time. I am a patriot. I love my country, because my country is all I know. Wanna be with my family, people who understand me. I've got nowhere else to go. And the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens someday. I was talking with my sister. She looked so fine. She said, baby, what's on your mind? She said, I wanna run like a lion, released from the cages, released from the rages, burning in my heart tonight. I ain't no communist, ain't no capitalist, ain't no imperialist, I'm not even a socialist. Only know one party, and that is freedom. I am a patriot. I love my country, because my country is all I know. Wanna be with my family, people who understand me. I've got nowhere else to go. And the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous. Oh, the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens someday. Someday.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Whew.
God love you.
Jesus, man.
Thanks a whole lot. So when we started off this, we worked with a lot of different types of drumming, Latin American, and we worked with some African drummers for a while, just listening to them, talking to them, and trying things out and all. And there's a woman from Lesotho in Africa, and she said to me when she came to Ireland, people would say, I can't drum, or I can't dance, or I can't sing. She said, we don't believe that. She said, there are no words in my language to say that. She said, everybody can sing, everybody can drum, and everybody can dance. And this includes you, right? This isn't just Ireland. So we thought we'd do something that we would get some organised rhythm happening with the audience, okay? Could we put the house lights up a wee bit just so that I can see that they're doing it right? Right?
And anybody that gets it wrong gets sacked, all right? Trying to get the biggest band in the universe together. So what is this? Where are we now? The Bayfield Hand Clapping Orchestra.
Right.
Oh, Chautauqua. Oh, sorry, Jesus, Chautauqua. Bayfield's just down the road. It's near enough. All right, then the Chautauqua and Bayfield assembled. Hand Clapping Orchestra. You happy now? I didn't leave anybody out there, did I know?
You done now?
Sorry.
Right, this is real easy. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you have to put your hands up. The first beat's louder. 1. Cool. Now pay attention, it gets harder. Next one is the first two beats, right? So it's 1, 2. So good. And this is where it gets really hard. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That's the rehearsals. You've got it okay. Pretty good, were they right on? So, I'm the conductor here. So pay attention and come in at the right time. All right?
Right.
Go.
Would you shut up? These are training monkeys.
You're so good.
That was great.
Wasn't it? Oh, let me breath back.
Here, hope we don't have to pay all these now for this.
So we're going to get Brenton to do something for you now. After he gets a wee drink. There's a style of singing that evolves in Ireland, and it kind of happened because there were times people were having dances or ceilidhs, and the musicians either didn't show up, or when they showed up they weren't good for nothing. So people, instead of batting the dance, they learned to lilt or dowdle the tunes to each other. And pipers and fiddlers still do it this day. They use this to describe or sing the tune and how it should be played. So it's called lilting, or mouth music, or in Scotland they call it gob music. So here's your man with his own lips.
Nobody else's. Biggest gob here. Anyway, here we go. Run doodle doodle dum doodle 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 dum doodle and doodle 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 dum doodle 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 dum doodle and doodle doodle right doodle doodle dum doodle 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 and doodle 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 and doodle doodle dum doodle 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 dum doodle 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 right doodle doodle dum doodle doodle dum doodle and doodle 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 dum doodle doodle and doodle doodle right doodle doodle dum doodle doodle dum doodle and doodle doodle dum doodle do right diddly doodle lum diddly idle doodle idle diddly idle die diskidly idle doodle idle doodle lum diddly idle doodle idle diddly idle die diddly idle do right diddly doodle lum diddly idle doodle idle dum do die diddle doodle lum diddly lum diddly idle doodle idle diddly idle die diddly idle do right diddly doodle lum diddly idle doodle idle dum doodle idle diddly idle doodle idle doodle lum diddly idle doodle idle diddly idle die doodle idle do right diddly doodle lum diddly idle doodle idle dum doodle idle diddly idle doodle idle diddly idle diddly idle doodle idle dum doodle idle diddly idle do hey.
You are listening to Tent Show Radio.
Welcome to Intermission, folks. Last year, when we could still travel, I found myself crammed in a van with 11 other humans. We were en route to a major international airport. Before we squeezed in together, we were waiting in the shuttle company lobby when a car pulled up and deposited a man at the entrance. He looked like a real lumberjack, or perhaps a mule skinner. He stomped his boots and headed straight for the bathroom. Seconds later, he came slamming back out, galumphing through our midst and into the parking lot, all the while roaring curses. Non-stop, all the biggies, not a trace of public inhibition. Every syllable FCC illegal except for two. My phone! It was a remarkable display. So remarkable, in fact, that one of the waiting passengers semi-jokingly asked the lobby attendant if we should seek cover, and the way we all swiveled our heads to gauge the attendant's response betrayed our true unease. To be clear, I once left my phone in the back seat of a taxi in Tucson and reacted in the very same way, although thanks to years of post-Calvinist Midwestern repression lessons, I was able to mute and disguise my terror, turn it all inward, where it ate my liver. Turns out, as the man explained to the customer service rep loudly and profanely upon his empty-handed return, the man's hired ride had just driven off with, yes, his cell phone. Fast forward in a few quick calls and the car returned, and when the man packed into the shuttle with us, he had his phone in hand. And 5 miles down the road, we all, save the driver, thank the rules, had our phones in hand. The couple beside me rode in silence, the wife doing Sudoku and answering texts from her sister. I know this because she would break the silence to update her mute husband. The fellow riding shotgun in his Navy veteran ball cap got loud alerts every minute or so, which he responded to by shaking his head and grumbling and then poking at the phone. Several other passengers were hooked to their earbuds, listening as they thumb-scrolled. I myself was checking emails and texts, but of course my emails and messages were very important because I am very, I really didn't want to talk either. All but possibly 2 of the passengers were older than I, and I am early stage senior discount eligible. I've also recently raised my first teenager in the age of the smartphone. Thus, when I see anyone fiddling with their digital thumbsucker to do anything other than call mom or 911, it is my natural inclination to say, put that thing away. Or, and this really doesn't work on the airport shuttle van, hand it over. You can have it back in a week. So I held my tongue. I even shut my phone off for a few miles and meditated. As a Cohen, I chose to focus on the laziness of assigning laziness to an age group. To wit, the easy maligning of Gen Zs and millennials, many of which are my leading source of hope for our future. Sometimes they're doing good things with their phones, and at this point, my daughter is better at staying off hers while on deadline than I am. How many of us are that man screaming for his phone like it was oxygen itself? I'm not lecturing you, I'm lecturing me. Because after a solid 3 minutes of phone-free meditation, I got a text and checked it immediately. Okay, phones down and back to the music. Once again, the thumping, powerful, beautiful sounds of different drums of Ireland.
This next song is written by a friend of mine called Peter O'Hanlon, and he's from Strabane in County Tyrone, which is on the border with Donegal. I live about 14 miles away in Derry, which is also on the same border. So when you're living on a borderline, it always makes you think about who you are, what you believe, what's right, what's wrong, all the big questions. So Peter came up with this song that's more or less saying that the fact that we come from the north is the common factor, that it doesn't matter so much about being Catholic, Protestant, whatever, that the land connects us. So this is called Northern Man, and here we are in northern Wisconsin. I was born on the border. My father's from Tyrone, my mother Donegal. I heard the talk on both sides of the border. Think by now, might have heard it all. I'm a northern man, from a northern clan. From where I stand, I see a northern land. From where I stand, I'm a northern man. I've always tried to form my thoughts freely, free to decide if decisions need be made. Now change my mind if it's a lesson to me. Don't know how I'd learn, the change left me afraid. I'm a northern man, from a northern clan. From where I stand, I see a northern land. From where I stand, I'm a northern man. Changed as the times did, but I've learned to see another way, still be who I am. My heart and my soul are united, both agree I'm a northern man. I'm a northern man, from a northern clan. From where I stand, I see a northern land. From where I stand, I'm a northern man. I'm a northern man, from a northern clan. From where I stand,
we love coming here to play. And this piece that we're going to do was inspired by a piece of prose that Roy saw written on a coffee shop wall. It's called The Rock of History. And the sound comes from Paul Marshall running his fingers across the skin of a Lambeg drum. It makes a sound that we call, in the band, we call wheel song.
When all the trees agree to sway in time, the wind blows. And when all the waves agree to act in concert, the tide comes in. And when all the people agree that it's time for change, the rock of history comes rolling down the mountain. The rock of history comes rolling down the mountain. The rock of history comes rolling down the mountain. Thank you. Thank you. Great to be back in beautiful Wisconsin. And thanks for coming out tonight. We're delighted to be here. We usually do this at the end of the show, or we're supposed to do this at the end of the show, and I always forget, but you can hear us all right, yeah? Yeah. That's because these guys on the sound desk and Andy over here on the monitor are some of the best in the business. So let's appreciate these guys. It's great work. And Lisa. Absolutely. Yeah. Do we have any people in tonight whose ancestors came from Ireland? Yeah. I wrote this song a while ago. It was about my grandmother. Actually, it was sent off to Canada in 1911 after giving birth to my mother out of wedlock, as they say. It's a sad story. So she ended up in Canada, in Vancouver, and I never met her. I'm following your footsteps to Canada, flying over the same trail that you left behind so long ago as the steamships took over from sail. And you landed in St. John, New Brunswick, with only a hope and a smile, and a secret that could not be spoken, of a love child left so far behind. And I believe in the one heart at the center of all things, where the broken ones come for their cradling, and the old ones still singing our dreams. We went all the way to Vancouver, a new life, a new rainbow's end, and a promise of freedom and plenty, and a secret still safe in your head. But I believe in the one heart at the center of all things, where the broken ones come for their cradling, and the old ones still singing our dreams. And your children's children have children now. Maybe they're listening tonight, and there's a space in my heart that stays empty for the wrong things that never got right. I believe in the one heart at the center of all things, where the broken ones come for their cradling, and the old ones still singing our dreams. I believe in the one heart at the center of all things, where the broken ones come for their cradling, and the old ones still singing our dreams. Following your footsteps to Canada. He was barely a man in his grandfather's coat, and sewn in the lining was a 10-shilling note. Goodbye to the family goodbye to the shore. Till I taste good fortune, I'll see you no more. Then a boat on the ocean tossed about like a cork, until one fine morning they sighted New York. And he stood on the gangplank and breathed in the air, hello, land of plenty, I've come for me share. He did like the ladies and the rise and the fall of their ankles and their dresses down in the dance hall, and rolling the dice, spinning the wheel. But he took most delight in the slip jigs and reels. Now there's talk of a pistol or maybe a knife, but all are agreed there was somebody's wife. Some kind of commotion, a terrible fight. He left one man dead and ran into the night. On a train to St. Louis, just one jump ahead, he slept one eye open with a 6-gun in bed. But he dreamed of the mountains and the valleys of home, while crossing the plains where the buffalo roam. And he did like the ladies and the rise and the fall of their ankles and their dresses down in the dance hall, and rolling the dice, spinning the wheel. But he took most delight in the slip jigs and reels. So they called him the Kid, and by 21, all that he knew was the power of the gun. And by 23, he had shot 5 men down who'd gotten his way as he rambled around. But a bad reputation is a hard thing to bear, for mothers pour scorn and young children they stare. But he found consolation in flash company, and life ain't so bad with a girl on your knee. And he did like the ladies and the rise and the fall of their ankles and their dresses down in the dance hall, and rolling the dice, spinning the wheel. But he took most delight in the slip jigs and reels. There are bones in the desert, there are buzzards that fly in high lazy circles, just hoping you'll die. But in matters of cruelty, it must be said, a landlord will pick your bones long before you're dead. It was wild mescaleros, I've heard people say, in the deadliest ambush near old Santa Fe. A young buck was taken, dressed up in a coat, and sewn in the lining was the 10-shilling note. He did like the ladies and the rise and the fall of their ankles and their dresses down in the dance hall, and rolling the dice, spinning the wheel. But he took most delight in the slip jigs and reels, and he did like the ladies and the rise and the fall of their ankles and their dresses down in the dance hall, and rolling the dice, spinning the wheel. But he took most delight in the slip jigs and reels.
Different Drums of Ireland, and our own Stevie Matier. And now to take us home, another selection from the Blue Canvas Orchestra archives.
Funding support for Tent Show Radio is provided by the Bayfield Inn. With 21 hotel rooms, over 25 vacation rentals, a lounge, on-site restaurant, and rooftop bar, there's something for you at the Bayfield Inn. More info at thebayfieldinn.com. And we're brought to you by Bayfield County Tourism. Find out how to get in touch with your inner wild at travelbayfieldcounty.com. And by the Cable Chamber of Commerce. Cable, the gateway to Bayfield County, where world-class trails, forests, lakes, and adventure await. Visit cableforfun.com. That's cable, the number 4, FUN.com.
Blue Canvas Orchestra. Well, folks, that's our show for tonight. Whether you beam it or stream it, we thank you for listening. We're as grateful as a guy who knows right where his phone is but isn't staring at it. We'd love it if you come on up Bayfield Way or down or over or through for a live show one day. Details always available at bigtop.org. You can visit me anytime at sneezingcow.com. Until next we share the air, remember where I come from, and here at Tent Show Radio, nobody ever says goodbye. They just say, well, I suppose.